What's up guys, my name is Your Heroes and welcome back to more Gates of Hell, and today we're going to be looking at the training mission, the military camp, you know, the very first mission, kind of like the tutorial mission you would do before you actually get into the proper missions. The reason why I'm looking at it is because there might be some things that you missed within the training mission that you did that you might have not seen. So guys, if you do want to see more videos like this where I kind of take a deeper dive into things that you might not have seen in certain missions or tutorials, then stay tuned to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Alright guys, so here we are in the kind of the basic training. So this is where you kind of learn how to shoot and, you know, kind of the basics. Now, once you've completed kind of the shooting part of it, I'll now tell you to get some guns off the bench here, which is okay, and there's actually, it tells you how to do it, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's something that you do actually need to know. That didn't actually make sense when I just made that sentence there, but something you don't need to, it'll give you 3 troops here, and one thing that you don't actually need to do is you don't need to use all 3 of them, but it is recommended. But I do recommend it because you'll be using it later for other training sections you'll do within this camp. So what to do is, if you just get one guy, and I would recommend just getting the machine gun because it just annihilates everything quicker, although you also might want to maybe choose a sniper just because it's, again, just slightly, because you can maybe shoot further distance than the machine gun. But yeah, you really don't actually need to use all three of these troops here. It's really kind of it's kind of pointless, and yeah, it's kind of a waste of time. So you don't need to get extra guns, just keep them there and they'll be fine. But now you're just being told to just kill all the targets again, and once you do that, you'll then be getting told to go to the grenade section where everything is fine. So really just the main section that new players should know, and I'm directing it to you, Barbed Wire Studios, is that you should be telling them how to do direct control, because when you look at the history, all you just tell them is just get your weapons and then move over here, and it tells you just to kind of go over and shoot the targets and then press E to get your weapons. But the players might not know how to control that one soldier, how to directly control it. So I'm going to be showing you this. All you do is, once you kind of highlight over him, you left click and highlight over him, and then you can see it kind of turns a yellow color, and then you press E and then it'll take direct control. Now this is something they do tell you this in a later training session, but they should be telling you this like straight away. I don't understand why they don't tell you this at the very beginning of this mission, because again, for new players, this is definitely something they're going to be struggling with. Because if you just tell them to go over here, and it does tell you kind of, what it does tell you actually is that if you just hover over the targets and just press right click and then just shoot them, but they should also be telling you is just to directly control it as well. Even though the reason that it tells you to kind of, you know, click it is because it'll get it done quicker, and it's, you know, and it's a quicker, you know, killing spree. But really, if you want kind of a more direct control, more experience, just press E, and then you can see you're taking control of it. And then if you really want to get into first person, then press T, and there you go, and then zoom in, and then there you go, you have a much better chance of being able to shoot it. So this is something that they should have told you in this part of the section here, the basic training. But that is really it for this kind of basic training. Really only 2 things, which is direct control, and then also you do not need to use all 3 players, all the 3 soldiers that they give you. Just use one of them just to make your life a wee bit easier and shorter. It isn't just the basic training, it isn't just this bit here that, you know, there could be better things that you could be taught. Let's have a look at the other part of the training sessions that you can do within this camp that you need to know. Alright guys, so here we are at the mortars and machine gun training section of this camp. Now you're being told in this section here how to use a machine gun, take down all the targets, And that's really it. It tells you basically how to go to this box here, and there's a wee machine gun in this box, and how to put it on a tripod, and then kind of, you know, activate the machine gun so you can shoot the targets. But what it doesn't tell you, and what it should tell you, is that when you go over it, once you kind of follow the commanders, sorry about the machine gun and about the loud sounds. Machine gun, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to turn the volume down on this because it's very loud. It's very annoying. I kind of hate it. So yeah, so once this is done, once you've kind of put the kind of tripod on and all that, what you're going to do is, see, there you go, it is now done, and now you're going to have to shoot all the targets. But there's one part of this which I don't really get, is that once you have mounted it, it only tells you to use a machine gun to take down the targets. It does not tell you to use like this other machine gun or the mortar, even though it's highlighted to say, to kind of hint at you can use it. It should be telling you to use the other ones as well, because you have to take down all these targets here, but at the very back, like here, like towards the end, this is where your machine gun goes out of range. So this is where your mortar is very useful. But unfortunately, your mortar takes ages to kill this area. Like, because mortars are not accurate, they won't exactly hit these all 4 targets. So, and I actually ran out when I was doing this part of the section, I actually ran out of normal shells on the mortar and almost ran to smoke. But what I just did was I literally just moved my machine gun down this area here just to kill this one, because I ran out of mortar shells. So really, I find it really bizarre how they don't tell you they just tell you to just use the machine gun, but they don't tell you to use the mortar, because the mortar can be really useful towards the back. But then you've got the point of you've run out of shells because the mortar is so inaccurate. Then you have to move your machine gun up to roughly about this area here where my mouse is to now kill the rest of them. So that is kind of like a really flawed system, I think. I think Barbed Wire should be doing better in that area. I don't know, because if you would want to read the message again, by the way, that they've given you, just press H for history and it'll show you the message history. So it just tells you to crew the tripod and then open the inventory by selecting the machine gun, and then pop the machine gun on, and then kill the targets by using the machine gun. It does not tell you to use the mortar or the other machine gun. It just hints at, it just kind of has a wee flashy white area saying use it, but really they should be telling you in text to use it. Another thing which also you should know, and they should actually, other things that you don't know, is that they should be telling you to place down sandbags with machine guns and mortars. So I'll give you the perfect example with these. You don't really need it in this case because there's sandbags surrounding it, but because there's a nice open gap here, your men will get absolutely obliterated by like snipers or something. So what you want to do is go into the wee special options, the wee cog at the bottom right, and then as you can see at the very bottom it says vehicle sandbag. Click that and then it will build a sandbag right here. There you go. So now you have a sandbag kind of joining up with the other sandbags, and now your infantry and your men are a lot more protected than they were. And it goes the same with the mortar as well. Go to that wee cog, you press the wee sandbags, and then as you can see, it will create a large, bigger. Actually, sorry, I thought I created a circle sandbag, but that's a different game. That's whenever Let's Go to. But as you can see now, you have a lot more cover to protect your men, and this is something they should be telling you in this tutorial. Even though you're not getting attacked by the men, by anything, and you're only shooting targets, but even still, you should be taught how to do that. And I realized I might just turn up the sound just a wee bit now. But yeah, this is something that they should be teaching you, which they don't. And it's quite frustrating because they won't, when new players come into battle, they won't know how to place down sandbags, and the tutorial didn't teach that. Even in the second trial by fire, I think it's called, they just tell you to place down like individual foxholes for men, but they don't tell you about putting down sandbags. So that's something that they should be implementing within this. Even though it is highlighted, they should be telling you, you know, by the instructor as well. Alright, so that is kind of all the things that you need to know for this machine gun area. Let's move on to the next area, where I think this is actually quite vital for your tank experience especially. So let's get on with that. While I'm actually here, while my men are actually going here, I would recommend that before going to this, something that actually the tutorial should mention is that before going to this tank training, you should actually be going over to this AT area, because what this does is that the AT area tells you what type of ammunition to use against like these targets here, and if you do that, then you know when you go to the tank training what ammunition to use in this area. So just a wee hint there, again, something this game should be kind of telling you to do is go to the AT tank section first before you go there, or at least advising new players to do that, because if they just go here without going to the AT training, because the AT training does tell you about different tank shells and shells within the game. So, and if you just go straight here, new players are going to be confused at you know, when it shows, you know, these type of barriers here. 20 stands for like AP, and the tougher targets like APCR, such as the 50 one is for APCR, and the 20 to 15 is for AP. So, and then you get that you get that they give you that in the tank training as well. So something just to know, and something they should be telling you again in this game. But let's move on. Let's now move on to the section where I thought, again, something they could really be using is the tank repairing. So in this section, you know, the soldier's broken his arm and you have to repair the tank. And they tell you to repair the tank in a really long and complicated way, which shouldn't be done. Again, this is something that should be telling you, because in some of the actual training it tells you like a wee shortcut to actually, you know, building stuff or repairing stuff. So in this section here, it tells you how to kind of repair bottom. You have to, if you want to, all you have to do is pick up this repair kit, and then it tells you to go down to the bottom here and then somehow repair it. I don't know how, but they tell you to do it. I don't know, they tell you to do it anyway. But all you do is just repair the tank. It's just press control and then R at the same time, and then a wee spanner will come up, and then just left click, and then the guy will start fixing it. Again, this is something that this tutorial does not tell you, and they should be telling you, and something you guys should be learning as well, because if you do through the whole process that they tell you to, you're going to lose your guy so quickly without even starting to repair the tanks. But if you just press Control R and start repairing the tank, you'll have a more likely chance of repairing that tank a lot quicker. Again, something Barbed Wire Studios you should kind of be implementing into this. But again, if you go to the history, repair kits are single-use items. If multiple components are broken, you'll need to repair each component. Take a repair kit from the vehicle into your soldier's inventory, and then with the soldier selected, press the repair button at the bottom right corner, which is down here, I think, in the interface. See, why are you telling them such a long process? Just tell them to press, give them that option, and then or press Control R to repair the vehicle, and that is a lot easier way, and my guy's actually already done repairing it. So again, something that should have been said within it but was not hinted at. Again, maybe it's for the more advanced players in that case, but I don't think so, considering the amount of hints that this tutorial gives you and the amount of kind of wee shortcuts such as, you know, Control C or something like that that they say in one of the training videos. With the advanced training, I did this and it's absolutely fine. It kind of tells you to do all the basics with kind of at the very start, so no problems with that. And I don't know, you can't really go to this area, and yeah, with this area it's just it's just this area that really needs to be worked on as well. That it just kind of needs to be a wee bit more obvious for the new players, because if you bring in a new player that has no idea how to play any sort of, you know, RTS or any type of game like this, you know, they've never played Men of Roswell Squad 2, they never played Call to Arms, they come to this game brand new, not knowing how the hell to play it, and the fact that they're not telling you, they're only telling you to use a machine gun, even though it's kind of highlighted. Again, it's not going to be, people just wonder, oh, it's highlighted, what do I do? You know, they're kind of highlighting it, saying, oh yes, I must go there, but they should be, the instructor, you know, the voiceover should be saying it as well. You know, they shouldn't be just saying the machine gun should be killing it. So something to really take into consideration as well. And the fuel is pretty basic. Again, it tells you everything you need to know, and that is really it for this training video. So a few wee things just to really to take into consideration, and things you didn't know about this training mission. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it useful. If you did, then please subscribe and leave a like on this video. If you want to see more things like this, again, leave a comment down below. And what things did you not know about the training session, about this campsite, that you would have liked to known better about it, if that makes sense? So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching, and also just know that I'd just like to thank everyone for that last video that I did. It was really fun to review, and also thank you to Barbed Wire Studios for replying to my comments. Again, can't thank them enough for kind of supporting me on my journey, and all you guys as well. So other than that guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and our support, and I will see you in the next video. See you later, and goodbye.